Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. The muted run at heavyweight for Murat Gassiev has continued, with him stopping a journeyman Carlouse Welch in Serbia, and he is now advanced to a record of 29-1. So this was his annual fight from 2022, because that's become the pattern in recent years. Since his loss to Alexander Usyk in the World Super Series final, what was it, 4 years ago, 2018, he's had 3 fights at heavyweight. Carlouse Welch just the latest in a line of underwhelming opponents. Previously, Mikel Wallisch and also Nuri Safiri. But Carlouse Welch, when you saw the state of him and his just pre the fight beginning, you knew that this wasn't going to go long. I'd never seen him fight before, and it was a pretty strange fight, in the sense that it looked like Murat Gassiev was putting about 20% of his power into his jab. He was even throwing a few, lead right hands as sort of jabs as well. And this fight only went for as long as Gassiev allowed it. The first shot he threw in anger, which was a right hand around the guard, Carlouse Welch down like a sack of potatoes off a cliff, laid out. And it didn't look like he was going to get up, but eventually he did. But he was giving off some bad signs, clearly did not want to continue, and it was waved off. So all over inside a minute and a half. But it could have ended much earlier. Gassiev, really it was just some light work sparring, and then he threw one heavy shot, and it was all she wrote. So another underwhelming chapter for Murat Gassiev, and the question is, what's he doing? Where's he going? He's sort of become one of these fighters that's become completely irrelevant. And consider this, he is now a fighter that's been pro for 11 years. And we know that he had some good success in the cruiserweight division, became a unified champion, lost to Usyk in that World Super Series final, and really has just gone missing since. Part of that has been injury, part of it also promotional troubles. Remembering, he did sign on with Matchroom in a co-promotional deal, and it just never happened. And then he said he was going to be leaving Matchroom, and he signed with a Russian promoter. But they've barely kept him active. 2020, he fought Nuri Safiri, Mikel Wallisch in 2021, and now for its annual fight in 2022, this Sakalad in Carlouse Welch, who really, it has to be said, didn't put anything into this fight, and it looked like he was there to fall over. It was a bit farcical, especially that first minute where it was tippity tap, 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 and then one shot, down, over. So what next for Murat Gassiev? And that's like the $64,000 question, because the guy clearly with the right matchups, and he's a guy that's got good power. He can knock guys out and hurt and stop guys with those right matchups, but he's just sort of rotting on the vine at this point. And I guess because of the conflict with Ukraine, this could be playing into, whatever's happening lately. But it just seems to be one series of things after another. And obviously the pandemic wouldn't have helped. But injury, inactivity, promotional issues, it just hasn't gone right. And he seems to be the oldest 28-year-old in history. And now he's been a pro for 11 years, and he's fighting this level of opposition at heavyweight. It is super underwhelming and disappointing. He was one of those guys when him and Usyk came up, and there were a few others that were talking about it from the cruiserweight division that were looking to make some noise. He's just nothing's happened. It's just been a complete failure to launch. The last sort of 4 years has just disappeared, and he's got nothing to show for it, except maybe a whiff of embarrassment that he hasn't pushed on like he should have. I mean, most of the guys that he's fought, it's just, Welch and Nuri Safiri in particular, that's pretty bad opponents up at heavyweight. Mikel Wallisch, is a certain level, but he's already past facing that sort of guy. And I guess you can say inactivity, and hey, he threw him in there. Wallisch sort of let his hands go for a couple of rounds before ultimately going down, which is the Wallisch way. But apart from, a little tiny bit of resistance, just a smidge, nothing. It's just so disappointing, and you have to ask the question, well, what's he looking to achieve? Where's he looking to go? What are they looking to do for him? Because he's become irrelevant, and that's a real shame for him. Yeah, what do you make of it all? Drop a comment loud and often, hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.